Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's Lean Publishing Tip of the Day live stream. Today's live stream isn't going to be all that complicated. It's just going to be, but it's about sometimes getting the basics right and talking about them is important. And so this is going to be just a little discussion about how you can let people know where to find you online and why that's so important. I'll start with the usual housekeeping. These videos are all recorded, so if you show up late, you can always find them on our YouTube channel at Leanpub under the playlist Lean Publishing Tip of the Day. You can also there's also always an accompanying blog post on our blog at leanpub.com/blog, where you can find a blog post with helpful links and things like that. These videos are meant to be sort of fun kind of live streams for whoever happens to catch them when they're live, but they're mostly meant for kind of being, recorded for posterity, basically being kind of like help center articles about self-publishing and tips and stuff like that you can watch anytime. So we hope you enjoy finding that list. Also, one thing I always like to mention is that you can sign up for the Lean Publishing Daily newsletter. You can do that here on the blog at the top of any one of these tip of the day blog posts, clicking on that button. And you can also find sign up banner on near the top of our homepage at leanpub.com. The Lean Publishing daily newsletters have these tips of the days if you scroll down, but they also have really great deals on Leanpub ebooks and stuff like that. And they're a great way to discover other authors like yourself if you're an author, or if you're an aspiring author, what other authors are up to. So today we're going to be talking about showing people how to contact, follow, and mention you online. One of I guess the kind of high level thing here is don't be shy. Easier said than done sometimes. But if you're going to be writing a book, you're going to be wanting to reach people. And if you're going to be self-publishing that book, it's, at least for the beginning, mostly going to be you doing the reaching. So you're going to have to be prepared to do that. One thing I would mention in my own experience with that kind of thing is that, like, if it doesn't come to you naturally, if you do it enough, it will come to you naturally eventually. Like so many other things in life. I was initially kind of, quite nervous about publishing YouTube videos and stuff like that, or even doing live streams like this. What if I screw up? What if I say the wrong thing, etc. And one of the great features about our world now is that people are actually very forgiving of mistakes and little blemishes and things like that. As long as you're being professional and you're trying hard and you're trying to improve over time. It's okay to kind of make mistakes when you get started doing something, in particular self-publishing and getting active online if it's not something that you're already active doing. So let's just go. If one of the first places, if you're on Leanpub, to share your social media information is to go to your Leanpub profile page. This is relatively easy to find. You go to account profile by clicking on the what I call the escape hatch at the top right here, and then you'll find your profile page on Leanpub. If you're a published author, you'll have a published page, and I highly recommend adding all your social media kind of handles here. So you can see mine is usually Leanpub where I can get it. Instagram, I didn't quite get it. I got the Leanpub. Same thing with YouTube. Sorry to all the other Leanpubbs out there. I'm usually faster at getting the names. Oh, and I don't have my there. I am not following my own rule. I don't have my Mastodon name in there. When you add these things, so we support Twitter/X, so that'll be updated pretty soon. That name, GitHub, LinkedIn, Mastodon, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You can also add it about yourself YouTube video if you want to. And then when you go to your author profile page, there's a helpful little link here. You'll see all these links at the top. One thing that's actually very important is that you should test these links to make sure they work. Sometimes you put a typo or it's not very clear what handle to put in there and things like that, particularly with something like Mastodon. That might not necessarily be all that clear. So I recommend that you click these links once you add them to your Leanpub profile to make sure that they all work. Another thing you can do to let people know where you are online, in addition to being active on social media and pointing people out, is you can share your email address with them. This is something that a lot of Leanpub authors do. They share at the beginning of their book, maybe in a foreword or something like that. They might have a little section where they invite feedback. I talked about this relatively recently in another video about how important feedback is to get from authors, particularly during if you're doing the Lean publishing process where you publish your book in progress chapter by chapter as you go. Getting feedback is very important. You might not want to share your actual kind of personal email address that you use for personal communications. You might want to create an email address that's, bookfeedback at, something.com that you share there. But that's a really good way to get out there. I highly recommend being as out there as you're comfortable being, or maybe even a little bit more than you're comfortable being. Another great way to, and this is all about helping people discover you and all the work that you're doing, so it doesn't remain hidden and hard to find. Another thing you can do, and a really great way to do this, is to follow other people online who are, in your orbit. If you've written a book about a particular programming language, follow other people who post and write about that programming language. Follow them, subscribe to their newsletters, read their stuff. But crucially, one really important way to get yourself noticed is to mention people online, always professionally and cheerfully, and do it when you find something they've done that you like, that you genuinely like and find interesting. Mention them, say, hey, great post today. Really loved how you said blah, blah. If you've ever been mentioned by someone complimenting you for something you did or thanking you for your work, that's how other people feel when you do it to them too. So mentioning them using their hashtags, hashtag programming language, something or other, that's a really good way to get attention as well. It's not one of the key things about attention, and I, say this having learned it, the same way everybody else does, the hard way. Attention typically doesn't just come. You have to work at it. You have to work at it basically every day. Find, my little sort of rule is to try and take 15 minutes a day to kind of do some kind of outreach to other people. This could be, writing a post on LinkedIn. This could be writing a post on X, anything that's sort of comfortable that you enjoy doing, or you might come to enjoy doing if you do it enough times. And yeah, this mentioning thing is very important. Even let me share our Leanpub channel, or our YouTube channel. Even here, you can mention people on YouTube if you post videos and things like that. So mentioning, hashtags, posting stuff, but crucially, sharing your social media profile on your Leanpub profile page and sharing your email address with people is actually a really, really good way to get yourself out there, to notice other people, and to get noticed yourself. So you have to be active. You have to be doing things. That's the best way to do it. So that's today's relatively brief lean publishing tip of the day about showing people how to contact, follow, and mention you online. If you jumped in late, you can find these videos all recorded forever on our Leanpub channel at Leanpub on YouTube.com. You can just click on the little playlist thing in the menu, and then you'll search for the Lean Publishing Tip of the Day playlist. There's the accompanying blog post that you'll find on our blog at leanpub.com/blog. If you don't see it there, click the little magnifying glass at the top and look for the keyword, or search for the keywords for the article. In these blog posts, you'll find helpful links and things like that. And as always, as we always say, if you ever do anything like this yourself online as an author, one thing you should always end with is saying, please like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that. You'll, obviously it'll be the best way of keeping up to date with these kind of videos if you like, watching them during your lunch hour or what have you. But there's also new release videos, there's book and course launch videos, and there's podcast videos, and there's the occasional explainer video, and there's lots of great shorts and things like that to watch on our YouTube channel. So I highly recommend you go there to learn about other authors and support them at the same time. So thanks very much, everyone, for watching this video today.